Hello everyone. So in this tutorial video today, what we are going to cover is how to build an AI agent that recommends real estate listings. Now, unfortunately for this tutorial, I can't create an actual example of this because I don't have access to a platform where real estate listings are stored. And now one of you were talking in our Discord about how you were trying to do this. And what you were trying to do was actually scrape this entire website, pull down all the listings, and train the bot to recommend certain listings. Now, that's not a great approach for multiple reasons. For one thing, it's just not realistic that the bot is going to be able to train on a website this large and then recommend real estate listings. What we've seen happen in this case is that it doesn't get all the data it needs. It's hard to keep updated. You're going to get charged a ton for all the characters you're going to have to store in our database in order to keep this up to date and keep the bot trained. And what we really recommend is training the AI agent on a subset of data that is kept up to date and that isn't massive. And this is really what we do with our own Stammer AI agents that we use for supporting you guys. So we train it on docs.stammer.ai, as well as some of our own kind of main landing pages and blog documentation, but mainly here. And why do we do that? The reason is that we know that this data is easily scrapable, and more importantly, we keep it up to date. So anytime we get a question from you guys that isn't covered in the documentation, we actually update this documentation really quickly, and then the bot gets retrained every 24 hours on this data so that it stays up to date. But unfortunately, it's not going to be a great approach for multiple reasons to train on a massive website like this. However, there is now a solution. And so let me tell you what you can do in order to make this possible. And one thing I want to mention before we go into how to create this agent that does this is you need to think of the knowledge base as really kind of like a library for your AI agent. And what do I mean by that? The documents and the data that you upload into that knowledge base do not go into the bot's memory. It's not stored in its memory or what you call its context. What it is actually stored in is a searchable knowledge base. And what you can kind of mentally think of this as is your agent, whenever it wants to access and search the knowledge base, you can think of it as it's taking out, it's literally going to its library, running a search, and extracting data that it finds relevant from that. Now, I'm simplifying some things here and abstracting some things, but you can think of it like that. And so it's not a perfect database of information that it has at its disposal. What you can do is actually build a tool, though, that the AI agent has access to through our custom functions capability. And so how would you do that for something like real estate listings? So what you need to do is actually build a cloud function that queries the real estate platform or wherever your real estate data is stored, whether it's on an MLS like they do here in the United States, wherever that real estate data is stored, you need to build a cloud function that your agent can use to then go and query that platform. And that is the best way to do that because your bot is going to use that. It's going to reach out, query the platform just like a human would, except it's using an API. If you're not familiar with an API, you can think of it as a website for machines to use. We're going to build a tool that your AI agent can use to query and recommend real estate listings. And that is really going to be the best way to absolutely do this. And then you can create a Stammer AI agent and an associated custom function that calls that cloud function in our platform. And now if you want to learn more about how to do this on your own, then you can check out Ross's great video here. And I'm going to share this link to this Notion page in this video's description. So just click on this, go to this, and you can watch this great YouTube video he's made about creating a custom function that calls stock market data and gets like a quote, a price for a certain stock. The way that Ross does this is he actually uses ChatGPT in order to create that function, and then he launches it on a platform called Repelit.com. But if you are not comfortable doing this, or if it's just the ChatGPT or Claude AI, whatever you're using, is not doing a great job, or you're just not experienced enough to know how to do this, then do reach out to us. If it's simple enough for us, it's possible, no promises here, but it's possible that we could help you write that. Now, if it's more complex and we can't do it, it would take us too much time to do it, then there is a great dev shop that we work with, and we may be able to refer you to them, and they'll give you an affordable rate to create this for you. And the final thing that I want to mention is that I think creating these custom functions like this are really almost integrations that you're doing for companies. And companies will pay a ton of money for custom integrations like this. Now, that allows you to charge a lot more for what you're offering. And this is how that guy the other day sold a custom integration for $15K with a company. And then we had other people doing similar things as well. But this is how you start to get away from just reselling AI agents that any business can create on their own in some ways, although there is complexity there. Don't forget that a lot of these business owners, they don't even want to sign up for a chatbot platform and go through and try to train an LLM on their data. They don't know how to do any of this. They don't know how to set up a document repository that can be used to train the AI agent on. They don't even know how to throw up a website in many cases. And why would they? They want to focus on their own core business, right? They don't have time to research how to train an LLM, which I know that seems very simple to many of you. And some of you have pushed back at times that, oh, anyone can just sign up for this chatbot platform and write a prompt that does this. Well, you'd be surprised. People, it's much, much more difficult than you think. When you actually try to sit down and write a prompt, that's a skill that not a lot of people have. And if you've developed that skill as an agency, that's going to be incredibly valuable, not only now, but especially years in the future. But anyway, I'm ranting a bit here. And my point is that when you start doing these custom integrations like that, you can sell them for so much more. So I think that any money that you put into this is definitely worth it. These integrations are a fantastic way to go. And this is a great way to really increase the value prop that you're providing to your customers. Now, as always, if you have any questions about this, do not hesitate to leave a comment, join our Discord and ask a question. And if you'd like to see more videos on these topics, then definitely please subscribe. Have a fantastic day and keep building and shipping things that people pay for.